Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope everyone's going to have an absolutely awesome day today, and I'm up with a Panalisa design team haul. But first of all, I want to show you this because this is something that Panalisa adds to basically everyone's packages. You always get a little free gift of some really sweet ephemera or little enamel dots or something, and those are just going to be fabulous on my 4th of July project. So I'm really grateful for those. Thank you, Panalisa. And first thing I want to share is this. And this is magic foam. Now, if you remember from many years ago, you used to be able to buy this stuff, and it was like an electric blue colour, and it was a block exactly the same, and I've still got mine actually. And all you have to do is warm it up and make an impression on something. You can stamp with it, paint with it, whatever it is that you want to get up to, and then you just clean it. And you just heat it up and it goes back to this shape so that it's all ready to use again. So we're going to use this right at the end because I've got a set of stamps that I haven't used yet. So we're just going to have a little play around with those. Right, next up I was sent a couple of blending tools and the foams, which I'm really grateful for because I use so many. If I open this bag, we've got a lot of glare on the camera, so I got a couple of those, and I've already demoed these in the past, and I've done the measurements, and you know, between these and the big brands there is absolutely no difference at all. No difference. I put money on that, and you have my word on that. There is no difference. The only difference is how much money you save. So I was sent some of those, and I was also sent this gorgeous book journal clip, and I'm going to open this. It's in a really pretty pillow box. I'm going to slide it out. Let's get that out of there. Look at that. So we can get a close up, and you just push it and it opens. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, I love that. It's got a little pearl on it. Let's clip it on here. There you go. It's got a nice bit of weight to it too. So I'll do a quick measurement of that. If anybody's wanting a clip, I'll actually pop it on top of the ruler and see what we've got. That is 2.5 inches. But isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I like that. I've got some really old books from many years ago, old dictionaries, and I kind of like to collect things like that because, you know, they're reported history in a way that just isn't reported today, and it's just nice to go back to see how people saw things all those years ago. So because they're very old, and I've got some old Dickens as well, I just love Charles Dickens, I'm going to use that on my bookshelf just to clip in the top of a book. So I love that. And then next up we have ephemera, and I won't get everything out, but I will show you the packages. And I am going to, whoops, there we go. I was sent some different Peter Rabbit ephemeras, which is great for Easter. I've got some other ones which are autumn. I think these are these are Peter Rabbit too. So you've kind of got that collection, which is, I would say that's spring. This one's autumn. You've got a lot of autumn shades, oak leaves, pumpkins, and a little wheelbarrow. This one looks spring oriented as well. You've got the watering can, and Peter Rabbit's mummy there. You've got a little fox. And we've got more Peter Rabbit where we've got berries and things. I mean, things like this just look really lovely on journal pages. You can even make cards with them, pop them up on foam and create scenes. So, you know, it takes me a while to get through and to use stuff, but I do in the end. And then I was sent a set of tickets and stamps that come in this gorgeous pocket. I mean, this can just go straight on to a journal page. as an embellishment, and I'm opening it so that we can have a look, so that you can actually stamp down on this section. But that's just ready to go. That is really, really lovely. Come on, mushroom stamp. That is really sweet. And then you've got the dressmaker's one. That is gorgeous. I love that. So I'm just going to pop that down there. And then I was sent some twines, which is really nice. Do you remember years and years ago, you used to get sellers on Etsy and eBay that used to do multiple bundles of twines, like everything would be in shades of blue, but it would be all different textures and cottons and embroidery threads and wools and eyelashes and stuff like that. And you don't see it so much anymore. I mean, when I first started doing altered art and stuff, I used to use a Zutta, what was it called? Bind It All. And you used to get the O-rings, and I used to tie bundles and bundles of fibres onto the O-rings because I absolutely loved them. But that is really sweet, very autumnal, and would probably look nice with the autumn Peter Rabbit stuff. And I've got more twine. Beautiful pastel Easter shades there. That's a nice close-up. And I was also sent a pink one. Isn't that pretty? Get really, really close. A little bit fluffy. I like those. And then I was sent some policy envelopes. You've got the ties there. And those are in different sizes. So those are cute again. Let's do the biggest one. Put it on its side so that I can see it. Whoops. Get the ruler the right way around helps. 5 3/4 inches on the largest one. And then I've got some rub-ons, whichever you want to call them. And they're all sort of like watercolour flowers and things. Watercolour splashes. Those are really sweet. And of course you've got the stick to rub them off. And I'm trying to look to see if it says, oh yeah, you get 2 designs and 2 sheets. So those are the designs that you get. Right, so that is that one. And I'm going to move these over to here so that I've got some space. I'm going to put that on there so I don't crush it. And I'm going to go with more ephemera before I get to the dies. Right, I'm looking for which way around the bag opens. Right, so Panalisa clearly watches my videos because she knows that I absolutely love these. I've already got these. These are they're really delicate. They're almost like napkins, laser cut napkins, and those are the lace borders that come in a little multi-pack. They are just absolutely glorious. You can trim pockets and cards and all sorts of things with them. Just absolutely love them. And the length is, if I just drag my ruler out and go along there, I'm going to what I think they are, and some of them are sort of like slipped around, so I'm going to say 8 1/4 inches on those gorgeous laser cut borders. And then we have more ephemera. These are mixed packs of journal pieces and tickets. It's got everything in there. If I open this, I think they're in several bags inside here. So we've got ladies, plants and flowers, and we've got little maps, and we've got numbers. All very, very vintage. And of course they are all white on the back. So there's some gorgeous ephemera. And then in this bag, oh, several items in here as well. And we've got butterflies, ladies, we've got stamps, we've got wildflowers, and we've got tickets. So I really do need to get and start using more ephemera, actually. And then I've got another bag which has several packs in it. And we've got this great Easter collection of ephemera. I think this actually matches the paper pad, because if you remember that Easter card that I did, it had the bell with those, did that go blurred? With those gorgeous colours of Easter eggs just pouring out. Just so pretty. And they are all white on the back. So I'm collecting up my bags here so I don't lose them. So I can put everything back afterwards. And then I've got another package here. Open this one out. And it's tickets and it's wild berries and it's wild birds. Little labels. If you like collecting vintage bottles, you know, you can make a really beautiful collection using stuff like this. Now, I don't know if UV resin would work on the surface of these for lifting the image, but sometimes you can just brush on some UV resin, let it set and peel it back, and usually the white backer will fall away, just leaving an image. Whether that would work on these, I don't know. But they're just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you can go into, oh, what's it called? Goodwill or anything, and pick up little old pots and bottles and stuff and just add your labels and bits of ephemera and make a really nice little collection to pop on a wooden tray. And then I've got another set here. And I will link to all the separate ephemera. There you go. We've got music on this one, and if I shake that down, you've got a little cherub stamp, and there's many other images in there. And as I said, you know, the best place to look and be able to see everything is on the website to see all of the separate images. I'm drowning in plastic bags. Open up another one here. And we've got large bold flowers and little fairies. That one's quite kind of Renaissance, isn't it? That's a bit graphic 45 in those colour shades. Absolutely gorgeous. So there's another two. Move my bag again. And this one's looking a little bit autumn. We've got bits of sunflowers and berries, more tickets, more labels, and then you've got sentiment strips, all in sort of like vintage craft shades. And then we've got roses and we've got maps again. Really lovely. Tickets, ledgers. Oops, get those out so I don't bend them. And then we have the fairy pack with butterflies, and that comes with flower patterns. And then we've got another one which is doves and poppies, anemones and berries. I'll open this last one up. There we go. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Little bunny rabbits. Really, really sweet. Absolutely gorgeous. So I've got those as ephemera pieces. And now I'm just going to pause so that I can get the dies onto the table. As soon as I can move my hand. Right, so next up we've got the dies, and the first one is eggs. I can see that it's eggs, and I can see little legs and arms, and I can see smiley faces. So, you know, I am going to be up tomorrow with project shares from these, and I think this one in this bag is a whole set. So if I just get this open, because it's in one bag, I'm assuming it's a set. And it's many, many tags, labels and shapes. So I'm looking at my opening here. There it is. Let's see what we've got in here. This is really well packed. Wow. I mean, seriously, there's a lot of stuff in that small bag. So we've got little labels and shapes to create different edges. We've got a banner fishtail. We've got a gorgeous little scallop. We've got a straight edge stitched one, which, does that layer up? No, that one doesn't. We've got a round scallop shape. We've got an oval scallop shape, a rectangle scallop shape. We've got the hexagons. These are really cute. Get the rest out of that bag. And then we've got little clouds. We've got chunky fishtail banners. We've got a heart that will give an embossed edge. Beautiful little stars there, all stitched edged. Round top tags. We've got kind of arrows, they can be little windows, and we've got double stitched circles. Aren't those sweet? Wow, I'm wondering if that is a whole set. I will have to look. And then there is a drink cup with a straw. So that's what that is. I'm going to have to look on the website for that one. And then that looks like a mug, a glass, ice cream. Ah, it's a coffee jug. So it's a coffee jug, coffee mug, and a coffee cup. So that's a set. And then this one is really sweet. You've got a soda bottle, very retro. You've got a swirly straw, and you've got a little lace trim there for the label. I love that one. And then spring flower box. So you've got the wood grain of the flower box. You've got that lovely sort of like pie crust trim that's going to go along there. Then you've got the grasses and the flowers. That's really cute. And then I think because that's cone shaped, it's not an ice cream cone. I just think it's a cone that hearts sort of like explode out of. So that's really cute. And then we have a fairy in a glass mason jar with a flower and a twiggy handle. That's a really sweet one for making a silhouette. And then we've got a couple of gorgeous flower borders. So when I make these, I will measure them. Ah, yes, cupcakes. Yes, probably going to do those for tomorrow because you know me and cakes. And then we've got a gorgeous camera. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous camera. You've got all the lenses, you've got the hearts, you've got a smaller camera icon, and it makes a mini album, and the size of that is 5.5 inches. That's gorgeous. I think that one's only a couple of bucks, so it's an absolute bargain. And you know me, I'm not going to read back to front, but I'm pretty sure that's anniversary, birthday, thinking, wishes. And then flip it over. You've got best, love, with, of, you, day, happy, and thank. How's that? That's really impressive for me. And then we've got a little sort of angle-shaped pocket. Now, I'm not sure what that piece is, so I need to make that. So I'll probably do that tomorrow because that looks really interesting. It looks like a pocket on a base or a pop-up or something. Oh, look at this. Teacups. And it's got a base layer. Look at that. That is going to be absolutely gorgeous just to watercolour and do it really, really simply. And what a beautiful size. Let's get the measurement on that. Right, your outer base layer is 6 inches. And then your width, obviously you haven't got to use all of the layers. You've actually got 2 base layers with this, 3.25 inches. Can you see that? You've got the cup, and then you've got that frame, and then you've got another frame, so you can layer it up twice. I think I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. And then we've got these gorgeous crisscrossy tags. This always reminds me of pie crust, so I kind of like, I always want to give things and do things like that for Thanksgiving because it just reminds me of the top of a, you know, a cherry pie or an apple pie or something. But aren't those pretty? So you've got tags there, and the size 3.5 inches, and then I've got this huge cut apart rose panel. Look at the detail in that. and that doesn't cut out, it cuts in, if you know what I mean. So you would have to have, let me measure this. I'm measuring the cut lines. So I'm looking at that, and ooh, I'm going to go for 5 3/4 to be safe. I would say you're going to need to cut a panel 5 3/4 inches. Let's see if it's square. Yeah. No, actually, I'd go for a 6-inch. I would cut a 6-inch square of cardstock, lay this on, and then cut the whole thing out. And then you're going to be layering on top of either a 6-inch square again, or with something that's going to give you a little bit of a border. But look at all that detail. I think I need to cut that just to make sure that it works. So I will do that tomorrow. Whoops, I've got plastic bags stuck to my arm. And then we've got this really pretty folding envelope, which has got the heart that comes across to hold the flaps down. And that one looks really simple to do, so I'll do that tomorrow. And I'm just guessing that that says thanks. I'm just guessing that. You know me and my guesses. And then we have a yeah, that folds up, doesn't it? Yeah, that folds up into a little box like a gift, and then you've got the bow to pop on it, and you've got the little holes in there so that you can thread your handles. Once again, that's a really simple one, and I can measure that because when made up, I can see that the height of the bag is going to be 2.5. Your base width is going to be 1 inch. So that's what you're going to be able to tuck inside there, which is quite a lot, really. I reckon you could fold a little pair of baby socks or something and pop them into that. And then we have a policy envelope die that comes with the enforcer rings. So that's really cute. I mean, if you've got lots of craft colour cardstock, you know, you could just keep running them through and through, do your stamping or whatever. Really nice. And I can tell you that when made up, the size of this envelope is going to be 3 inches by, ooh, I'm going to say 4 3/8. So that is, you know, when you consider that would be folded, got my hand on there, that's a really, really lovely size. So I'm going to pause now. I'm going to move some stuff and let's get the funny foam out. Right, so I'm going to be using my Surprise Creation stamp platform. I've unpackaged one of those blocks of, I call it fun foam. I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here, and this is the stamp set that I'm going to use. It's the positive and the negative heart stamps that you get on AliExpress. Now, I'm just going to peel my backer off because I think I've only ever used one of these stamps on here. So I've just peeled my backer off there, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the negative, and then I'm going to use the positive using VersaFine. So I'm going to use my saltwater taffy there from Tim Holtz, and I am just peeling off these stamps from this backer. Sometimes when you've got stamps for a long time and you haven't used them, they can get a little bit, you know, sort of like rigid onto the backer. So I'm just peeling mine off now. So that's my negative, and then I need to remember this one is the one that I want to use with my VersaFine Claire. So I've popped it on top of that one. Just move my backer out of the way. And whoops, I'm going to pop that there out of the way just for a second. Now actually, what am I doing? I need it on top first. Right, this is your fun foam, and to use it you have to heat it. So just using your craft gun, that's all you have to do. And I'm just digging around for mine. Look, mine's a really, really old Ranger. it's probably starting to burn out a bit, which probably isn't a good thing, but you know. Got my little stamp there, and I'm just going to heat my foam up. You only have to do it for a little while, and then I'm just going to press down on that and see what I've got. Or maybe I need to heat it up some more. Yeah, I'll get my gun hot. But can you see that pattern just vanished out of that? So I'm just going to heat it up a little bit more. Don't want to melt my camera, you see, because you can see how close I am to the camera. And then I'm just going to pop it down on that stamp and give it a press. Make sure it's all squished in. And then I'll see what kind of impression I've got. See, that's the impression that I've got at the moment. So I'm going to try that. And I'm just going to ink it up using saltwater taffy, which of course is a distress oxide. And I want to see what that gives me. I'm going to go backwards and forwards, so I've got a criss-crossy pattern. Make it a little bit distressed. Can you see that? Now, in my days of mixed media, we used to put the, I've always called it fun foam, and we would put it down into like beads and things like that and pick up an impression. I want to see what I've got here. There we go. We've got a little bit of heart. Now, I would actually trim it around where I can see my square edge. But you can have oodles of fun with it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into here. Oops. And I'm going to use my positive stamp. So I'm going to need to line that up on top of it. And once again, as you can see, I'm not using any tape. Actually, thinking about this being positive and negative, I've got quite a few positive and negative stamps. Might be interesting to use them to do this. Now we've got to hope, of course, that the stamp hasn't stuck to the paper. No, it hasn't. And as you can see, my base surface is really, really slippy. But as I'm going through a kind of distressed effect, you know, I'm going to try and forgive myself slightly. So I'm using the positive and the negative with the fun foam stamp. And I am, of course, going to come back and do this kind of properly. But there's one little fun effect using positive and negative. I really like that. And I'm going to save that and I'm going to use it to cut one of my little tags tomorrow using that new set. So that is what I have got for you today. I'm just trying to sort out everything on my table, and I think Bo's just about to start barking. But I do thank you so much for watching, and as usual, all links below. Do check out the links because the ephemera on Panalisa's page is so comprehensive and the images are so beautiful that, you know, quite literally sometimes I'll spend an hour just looking at it. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be up tomorrow with a project share. Bye.